You are tuned in to Kids
In the Pit!
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I'm joined by Nick and Kellen from the band Stacked Like Pancakes. Hey guys, I met you both a few weeks ago in Townsend, Maryland and Philly when you played with my friends in Keep Flying. Thanks for letting me interview you. Also, I gave you my For Your Strong hat because I know you like them so much, Nick. So, you're welcome for that.
Thank you very much for this
Thanks for
hat,
having
man.
us. And
Yeah.
thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
It's a
So yeah,
pleasure to be here.
you guys can both answer any of these you want.
Okay.
So, what do you guys do in Stacked Like Pancakes?
I am the lead singer, songwriter. I play rhythm guitar because I'm not a great guitarist. And I started the band in 2007,
Wow.
long time ago. Yeah.
Uh,
So,
Go
uh,
ahead.
when did Stacked Like Pancakes start?
Yeah, 2007 in a suburb of uh Baltimore, Maryland. Well, not really a suburb, rural Maryland in Carroll County. I started in high school. But hang on, Nick, tell us what you do in the band.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. I play the bass.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
And
and backing
Kellen.
vocals.
Oh yeah, I sing a little bit too. But Kellen's being modest. He's actually a very good guitar player.
Thank you. I'm average. I promise. Gabe, you're probably way better than me. Actually, no,
That
I
was,
know. No, I saw you shred on stage. You are better than me.
well, that was the 40-second song. You played a whole set without messing up. So,
You think I didn't mess up?
That
I think
was
you
my
did.
favorite 40 seconds of the whole night. I will
Yeah.
say.
Thanks. So, where's Stacked Like Pancakes from? And do you all still live there?
So I started the band in Hampstead, or I guess Westminster, Maryland. And none of us have anything to do with Westminster, Maryland, at this time. Um, I have lit. So I after high school, I the band kind of moved to Towson, Maryland, which is where I went to college at Towson University. I met many people like throughout um, the time of going from high school to college. A huge transitional period for everybody at that age, and so some people, um, for a bunch of different reasons, mostly perfectly fine, didn't want to be in the band anymore, and ventured off to different things. But I met a bunch of people in college who eventually joined the band, and then getting into more and more shows and slowly starting to build a touring repertoire. Met Nick and Steve, who are, or I guess I should say, were in another band called Solios. Solios opened for Stack Like Pancakes, and then we kind of just stayed in touch ever since, and eventually, like, the relationship built, and they ended up joining the band. But Nick, where are you based out of?
Yeah. So my story is a little bit not as long as Kellen's. But I started my own ska band when I was in college with our other guitar player, Steve, who is unfortunately unable to be with us this evening. But him and I started a band in college. We were just going to be like a little rock steady reggae band, and that turned into our ska punk band called Solios. And the summer that we started that band, I had gone to Warp Tour, and when I was standing in line to get into Warp Tour, there was these couple of handsome fellas walking around playing
Nice.
trombone and trumpet, and they had big signs around their necks that said "Stacked Like Pancakes." 1:30 p.m. on the Skull Candy stage. And they were playing Super Mario Bros, just walking out to the lines and playing people, trying to get people to come see their set. And I've been hooked ever since. I said, all right, I'm going to go see their set at 1:30. Went and saw their set at 1:30, and I was a fan ever since. And then flash forward about 6 months after Warped Tour, Solios had only played a handful of shows. We were still a brand new band, just starting out, only playing a little local shows here and then. We never got a chance to open for a touring act until Stacked Like Pancakes went on their self-titled This Is Us tour. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that album, but it is my personal favorite Stacked Like Pancakes album because it reminds me of that great time in my life and where I got to meet Kellen and everybody else in the band got to meet, and we all became lifelong friends with each other. We ended up playing together again in Pittsburgh and then once again in Lancaster. And Solios had kind of gone our separate ways after college. And Kellen needed a couple new bandmates. So he said, hey, I remember that band Solios that we used to play with. We're still good friends. Let's give Nick and Steve a call and see if they want to play a couple of shows. And so it just started off as a little casual relationship. We just played a couple of shows here and there. Warped Tour 2019, Atlantic City. Not a big deal.
The one show before that, though, which kind of really pushed this all together was the Baltimore show, where we did a benefit for Johns Hopkins Children's Center. That was the very first show.
Yep, that was my first show with Stacked Like Pancakes.
Yeah, and I just we were going through some bumps in the road with some personnel in the band at the time, and I was really, really committed and wanted to follow through with supporting this charity and doing this charity event. So yeah, I called my boys Nick and Steve, and I got a few other friends on stage with me to do SLP songs, and then it just blossomed from there. But I looking back on it, it was really is kind of a special moment to do something that was obviously bigger than ourselves we didn't raise hundreds of thousands of dollars or anything crazy like that for Johns Hopkins Children's Center, and I'm sure there are philanthropists that have donated much. There are certainly philanthropists that have donated much larger amounts of money to them, but it's not about the amount. It's about giving to the community and supporting the nonprofit and coming together for that. And then, we just kind of became, like Nick said, lifelong friends and stayed in touch and kept playing shows.
Nice. I think on tour you said something like it's only you, Nick, and Steve that are in the band, and the rest are just fill-ins, right?
Yeah, that's basically how we've been operating. And it makes us a lot more flexible to take on different opportunities when we're available, because in the past, in high school and especially in college, there was a point where there were 8 or 9 people in the band. We've trimmed it down a little bit now, basically just less horn players. But to think about potentially 9 permanent members with 9 different schedules, 9 different demanding work schedules, 9 different, maybe, relationships and things going on in personal lives. And once you factor all of those things in, it is really, really difficult to get everyone on the same page with scheduling and committing to shows. So if we're basically trimmed down to a commitment of 3 band members, and we have a bunch of friends who 3 or 4 friends who play trumpet, 3 or 4 friends who play trombone, 3 or 4 friends who play saxophone, and then a drummer, and we have a pool of people who are also committed and great musicians, then that makes us a lot more flexible to take on different opportunities in any given moment.
And they are a great rotating cast, I will say. I love all the bunches of people that we've got to play with us on stage over the years. The lineup that you saw in Towson and Philadelphia, that was by far my favorite lineup.
Kiss.
That we've had so far. And no disrespect to anyone before that, but trust me, you You were in for a treat
Everyone we
those two
play with,
nights.
yeah, everyone we play was fantastic though, for real.
Yeah, I would say we were at our peak those 2 nights that you saw us though. So I'm happy you got to see us those 2 nights, Gabe.
Yep. I'm trying to learn trumpet and trombone.
What? Hit
Let's go. Let's see what you got.
Oh, that was so loud. Okay. So I learned the dan it, I don't remember I don't know if I remember it, but I think it was like not very good at it yet because I've had it for like
That's all right.
a few weeks.
Amazing. It's all in the embouchure, is what I hear from horn players. So once you develop that embouchure, do you know what that is? Embouchure?
No.
Yeah, that's just like the mouth form, basically, and the mouth, the form technique.
He's had it for
playing.
2 weeks, Kellen. Jeez,
I
give him a
know.
break.
All I'm no. I'm saying once you develop that, like you're gonna be there. Like you got. I'm not Nick. Come on.
You think he knows what an embouchure is? Come on,
Well,
man. Kellen
okay.
Kellen went to college for classical music performance. If you can't tell, Gabe.
I'm saying all I'm saying is keep at it. It's a great start. Keep at it.
I have no idea what an embouchure is though.
It's a dumb French word. That's all. It's like the mouth shape behind your playing, and it's important. Trumpet players tell me.
It sounds like a cool band name.
Embouchure. It does.
Embouchure. Doesn't it sound like a doom metal band? Embouchure. Anyway, I digress. You sounded great, Gabe. Keep at it. If you keep at it, we'll bring you up on stage and you can play. We'll have you shift instruments in between songs. You know, you'll play guitar for one and trumpet for the next and bass for the next, and we'll go the whole way down the line.
And we'll never say the word embouchure again.
But yeah, this is this shape that I do. Pretty sure this is correct.
Yeah. That looks great, man. I don't know any better.
Our trumpet player Gannon will have to be the judge of that. Gannon is our trumpet player that you saw us with on those 2 nights.
Yeah. So do you both like pancakes?
Yeah. I prefer French toast. And I know that's kind of ironic because I started the band. I do prefer French toast. I do love me some pancakes though. Like you can't beat pancakes and bacon for breakfast.
Yeah. This is a frequently asked question that we do get.
Yeah, you can't beat that. But if I had a choice, if I had 2 plates in front of me, French toast and pancakes, I would choose the French toast. I'm not gonna lie.
It's called stacked like French toast.
Not the same ring to it, right?
Not the same.
Well, still, you feel like it more. I could like stacked like pancakes works better. But anyways, what are your favorite like pancake toppings? Both of you.
Also, another frequent follow-up question that we get. I'll go first. I am a classic chocolate chip pancakes.
Nice.
With Hershey syrup and regular syrup with a little bit of whipped cream on top.
Whew. You know what I tried once and I really, really loved, and you don't see it that often, but I tried raspberries. I just love raspberries.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried like you would with blueberries and just like flipping them into it, and it was pretty bomb. I'm not gonna lie. Did the kids still say bomb, or is that still
like this taste? This is bomb or something. This is bomb,
or is that like 5 years ago?
Not.
No, you're just a boomer, Kellen.
Not as much, but sometimes.
Okay. Boomer, get out of here.
Like they don't say it as much, but like sometimes.
All right, so I'm still hip, is what you're saying, Gabe.
You just use the word hip.
Kind of.
You just use the word hip. Oh yeah, that's funny.
You just keep digging the hole.
Yeah. Once you said, once you're saying the bomb, like I was like, okay, kinda, and then you started saying, am I hip like you kids nowadays? And I was like,
You're like that meme. How do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, with Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's gonna be our next That's gonna be our next meme that we post in our Discord. It's gonna be that meme, but Kellen's face instead.
Let's do it. I'm all for
Embouchure.
it. I'm
Mr.
all for it.
Embouchure.
Any chance I can get to make fun of myself, man.
Gabe, what are your favorite pancake toppings? I want to know.
So, a lot my dad makes blueberry pancakes. Those are pretty good. Yeah, I'd probably say like blueberry pancakes just with butter and syrup. It's pretty good.
Nice.
I've never
You
had
ever
whipped
had?
cream on it though. It might
You
be
ever had like? I haven't been to IHOP in a long time, but don't they have like crazy syrup flavors?
maybe.
Like
I
a
think
whole like arsenal of like strawberry, blueberry, something and something syrup. I don't know. I haven't
probably
been there in a while.
they have.
But like if you do
IHOP
like
is crazy.
Okay, I used to
blueberry
work there. I
pancakes.
don't like doing this, but I used to work there. They have boysenberry, blueberry, strawberry, and regular.
Okay. All right. So like if you do blueberry pancakes with strawberry syrup,
Oh, best of both.
that's a lot of fruit.
That might be really good though.
That would
And, like put
probably
raspberries in it too.
you know
like
you know what? The kids would say that would be pretty bomb.
Gabe. Okay, I got a good one for you. I'm sorry I'm flipping the script on you. I know this is your podcast and everything, but I need to know. So, your top three favorite hardcore bands that you've interviewed on this podcast. Describe them in pancake topping or pancake flavors.
We're
Go.
flipping the script on you, Gabe. I like
Do I
it.
say the band like two or just have to describe them?
Say the band and what pancake flavor you would describe them as.
Okay. So does it have to be a hardcore band or can it be like a punk band too?
Could be either one.
Okay. I'm trying to think. So Brian Baker, he loves cherry pie, so I'm gonna go like I don't know if there's really cherry pancakes, but cherry pancakes for Bad Religion because I interviewed
Okay.
Brian Baker.
Nice.
I listened to that interview, by the way. That was a great interview.
Thank you. Sick of It All. That was a really good one. Pete from Sick of It All. What would their pancakes be? Probably like for some reason I just feel like pancakes with just a ton of chocolate on it. Maybe we ate pancakes with Pete at IHOP once. That was fun. I don't know what he got. I think yeah, I'm just gonna chocolate chip with chocolate sauce. I don't know.
Extra chocolate,
But just-
everything.
For some reason, he just gives me a lot of chocolate energy. No,
Chocolate
because
energy.
chocolate has like caffeine in it, right?
Oh, okay. I
And-
got you.
Pete is super crazy on stage, so like one singular pancake with a mountain of chocolate chips and complete like an ocean of chocolate syrup because he's very crazy on stage, spinning around and jumping.
All sugared up, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe like Scott Vogel was a cool one, Tara. Maybe like so he says his catchphrase is more stage dive, so maybe like pancakes, but all the ingredients are like falling off the edge, like it dove off the pancake or something. I don't know.
Amazing.
Gabe, this is the content that the
Amazing.
fans have been wanting this whole time.
And yeah, this is a very odd turn, but it's cool.
I'm gonna have all these pancake toppings, and while I'm eating them and cooking them, I'm going to be listening to those bands' discography the whole way. I'm gonna make a whole thing out of it.
Good luck making the chocolate one. Pete's one.
Oh, trust me, I'm not shy about chocolate.
Like,
Kellen, if Steve was here, he'd really attest to it. But Kellen will attest. Like when we are on tour, I am the dessert guy. When anytime we go out for food, I'm always like looking for like a milkshake or a smoothie or an ice cream cone.
Haven't eaten dinner yet all day. It was like, what's for dessert?
Yeah, I'd be already thinking ahead to dessert that night. I'm just the member of the band with the sweet tooth guy.
Like yeah, but if you're gonna make the Pete pancakes, you need a mountain of chocolate chips like this tall. you need like for like bottles of water, but it's only bottles. It's only like chocolate syrup.
Oh man, this sounds like something that would be on Epic Mealtime on YouTube. You ever seen that
No, I
YouTube
haven't,
show?
but-
Yeah, they just make stuff like this, and that's their YouTube
To
content.
do a collab with them.
I don't know if they're still a thing or not. I know.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
anyway, yeah, if they ever hit
Yeah,
us
you
up
sound
for
like a boomer,
collaboration,
Nick.
yeah, well, I will attest to that. I'm the original. See, there it is. There it is. You're already ahead of the
What?
game. Let's go, Gabe.
Let's go.
Chug,
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 chug, chug. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Attaboy, Gabe. If this was our Twitch stream, I'd be hitting the soundboard emotes.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Hell
I got
yeah,
the
Gabe.
chocolate off my face. That was good. You guys like should make a song about chocolate syrup and in the music video just like cover chocolate syrup on you guys while playing your instruments or like at a show and you just cover yourselves in syrup. It'd be funny.
Tell you what, Gabe, I think this is a great segue right here. So Kellen and I are starting to be streaming on our Twitch channel a lot more often. And one thing that was really fun that Kellen used to do was he used to write songs with everybody in chat. And what you're describing right now sounds like a great opportunity for a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
If you'd ever be so kind as to join us, and we can write this song together with our audience online.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'm down and I'm free pretty much whenever.
I would love to write a song with you, Gabe. I would be absolutely honored.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
down.
Should we tell the story? Oh, I should tell the story about my hat I'm wearing right now.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you listening, Gabe and his mom came to see Stacked Like Pancakes with Keep Flying and Kings of the Wild Things and Statements in Towson, Maryland.
Let's say came to see Keep Flying with Stacked Like Pancakes.
Yeah. I'm sure you came to see Keep Flying, and Stacked Like Pancakes was just kind of there inadvertently.
We were there.
Gabe was front row, and I saw this kid wearing a 4-year strong hat, and immediately thought, we're gonna be friends. So the first chance I got when I got all my gear cleaned up and off stage is I had to come down and meet Gabe and introduce myself and say, that's an awesome hat. I want to let you know 4-year strong is one of my favorite bands of all time. My favorite concert I have ever been to in my life was 2015 with The Story So Far, 4-year strong, and Terror. And
What?
that was one of the
so far in terror
and
what? And 4-year strong?
Yes. And then there was an opening band called Souvenirs, and that was arguably my favorite punk rock show that I had ever been in my life. It was the day that Story So Far released their self-titled album, which is today my favorite album because of this particular show. Because it was the first time I ever saw Terror, had no idea who Terror was. And then I saw 4-year strong. I had been listening to them for years. That was the first time I ever got to see them. And also The Story So Far is my personal favorite band of all time. So
It's crazy. It's just so funny. 2 like pop punk bands and then 1 like tough guy hardcore band.
they were awesome, and the crowd loved them, ate them up. So as soon as I saw you wearing this hat, I was getting flashbacks to that awesome night that I had, and I just had to come up and say something. And the next night in Philadelphia, you were like, came up to me and was like, hey man, what's your t-shirt size? I might get you a merch thing. I was like, oh no, you don't have to do that, this and that. He's like, well, do you want my hat? And I was like, nah, man, it's your hat. You keep it and everything, trying to be all humble. And my very good friend, John from Keep Flying, dear friend of mine, looked at me and he said, hey bro, you should take the hat. He wants to give you your hat. And I was just so honored and humbled. And then I learned after that, John said, yeah, Gabe's going to come up and play a hardcore song with us tonight. And so I knew I had to get my 4-year strong hat on. This is a relic, man. And you were so kind as to sign it for me. So when your podcast blows up and when you blow up someday, I'm so happy to have got in on it early, man. It's an honor. And it's an honor to be on your podcast, Gabe. I really appreciate you having us on tonight.
Yep. Thanks for being on. Thanks for letting me sign the hat. And thanks for taking the hat. Because I have way too many hats. A hot water music one, which my dad pretty much took to work always. I have a bulldoze one. I have
Nice.
your hardcore one. I have a ton of others.
Hell yeah. And you rocked the shit out of the stage playing Interstate last night. That's one of my favorite Keep Flying songs too.
Yeah, that's my favorite Keep Flying song too.
Yeah, they are dear friends of ours. We love Keep Flying.
Yep. The reason we got into Keep Flying was because we went to a Less Than Jake show. It was in Baltimore at the Rams Head Live, and we were like, we've never heard Keep Flying before, and then they started playing, and we were like, oh my gosh, this band is amazing. And then we like talked to them after the show and learned that they're like hardcore kids in a ska band, which is just.
That's right. And John was on tour with 4 Year Strong for years and years.
That's cool. But now they stay at our house like all the time, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, they are the nicest guys too.
Rams Head Live, by the way, shout out to the staff and crew there. One of my favorite venues in the country that I've ever played at. It's absolutely fantastic and would be honored to play there again in the future. Maybe on a tour with Keep Flying.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
So we would love to do another tour with Keep Flying. They're dear friends of ours.
Yeah, you guys should.
We're working on it. Yeah,
we saw Less Than Jake again at the Rams Head Live. It was with different bands. Who's the middle band?
Bowling for Soup?
No, Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Oh, Voodoo Glow Skulls. Solios has opened up for Voodoo Glow Skulls before.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but I saw in their like so on Spotify, Less Than Jake has a Less Than Jake in between sets thing that they play over the PA. And while Voodoo Glow Skulls was setting up, Shoot the Moon started playing because that was on the thing. What are the chances?
That's crazy.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Just crazy. Imagine like Stacked Like Pancakes setting up, and then you just hear, I don't know, SFFD or something. SFDD, not SFD.
So ironically enough, funny enough, you should bring that up. I can't remember which venue it was, but that venue was playing the Spotify official Essential Ska playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this, Kellen?
I do. And Dreamcatcher's on there.
And our song Dreamcatcher was on there. And it's like our least ska song, or one of our least ska songs.
Somehow it's on this Spotify algorithmic playlist. I don't know.
And it got onto this playlist. And
not mad about it. It's just it's not really a ska song.
There's a ton of listens on Spotify because of it. Yeah, because of that playlist. But we heard that and we're like, this is on the Essential Ska playlist. And we were loading our gear in, and I'm like, oh, sure as hell. I'm like, what? Hey, how did this come on? And sure enough, the sound guy said, yeah, I'm playing the Essential Ska Spotify playlist. Yeah. So, and it was like totally by accident. So from what you're saying, it sounds like the Less Than Jake thing was kind of like on purpose. This was a total accident, and it was just a very hilarious moment I wanted to share.
I mean, I don't think they did it on purpose. It just, their song was on between sets thing, and just that song happened to come on while they were. So it was like, if they didn't put it on the playlist, it wouldn't have came on. But like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, interesting thinking back to when we went on tour with like Fish in 2016. I remember vividly Tom Ames, their tour manager, was very, very specific to what songs and what artists were in the house music. And yeah, that all kind of makes sense putting this all together. It's like, yeah, you don't want the artist that's about to perform you don't want to hear that that music over the house. I guess anyway. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to. It's like, no, I paid money to hear it live, like in person. I don't want to hear the MP3 file that I've heard already. Like I want to hear it live. I don't know. It is just kind of a silly moment if that does happen. It's not the
Gabe,
end of
are
the
you
world.
familiar with a band called Periphery?
So I know I haven't listened to them. I've definitely heard the name,
They're like
and
a gent metal band from Maryland. But I've seen them a few times, and every time right before they're gonna go on stage, they have whoever's playing the house music, they have them crank Chop Suey by System of a Down. And the whole crowd sings it loud. And by the end of the song, they come up on stage and it's great.
That's brilliant, honestly.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
I remember they were on a fest that I went to, Furnace Fest. You know Furnace Fest?
Yeah. I would love to play on Furnace Fest. I've been
I'm pretty sure
eyeing them for a
Periphery
while.
played.
Oh yeah. Very progressive gent metal.
Yep.
If you're into that, all that intricate stuff.
Almost like Animals as Leaders, but like with their
Fantastic band.
gent metal.
Yeah.
But they have like they're
Mhm.
only instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, Animals Leaders is instrumental. Periphery has a vocalist, but
Mhm.
I did see them together on tour before.
Oh, nice.
Periphery
So are
didn't
they?
always have a vocalist, right?
No, they always had a vocalist.
They
And
did?
in fact, the guitar player from Periphery actually recorded and produced an Animals Leaders album back in the
Oh,
day.
nice.
Yeah, he also recorded and produced a Veil of Maya album back in the day. But I digress. I could talk about metal all day. I've been getting into hardcore, mostly because of you, Gabe. I've been listening to your podcast and getting into all the hardcore bands that you get on, Terror included. You know, I reignited my love for Terror. I never really got it, super hardcore into hardcore because I was always, doing the ska thing and the punk thing, and I never like had an opportunity. But when I saw you go up there and play with Keep Flying and that 60-second song, I said to my friends, I was like, man, we got to start a hardcore band. And now me and my friends are starting a hardcore band. And yourself is an inspiration. So I want to thank you for inspiring me to start my own hardcore band.
Nice. So, do you guys have a name yet?
Snoozer.
Ooh.
SNZR. Snoozer.
SNZ. Oh, you're doing that thing where you forget the vowels.
Yeah, that's like the new cool thing.
Yeah. Nice. I like that.
Nice.
It's not a good name, but it's not a terrible name. It's just a name that, it was just kind of a pulling out of a hat. It means nothing.
I mean, hey, that's no different than Stacked Like Pancakes, honestly.
Yeah. And it just sounded like a good hardcore name.
Well, Stacked Like Pancakes, though, has too many vowels. Like, you can't.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Really
I say SLP, or I commonly refer to our band as the Flapjacks to my friends and family. They know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, a much better band name. Should have gone with that.
The Toasters, the Pie Tasters,
the Flapjacks,
missed
opportunity.
Mustard Plug. We had a whole food opportunity. We could throw a food band ska festival.
Mm-hmm.
And we bring the pancakes, Mustard Plug brings the mustard, the Toasters bring the toast, and the Pie Tasters bring the pie.
Yeah,
and
I
Gabe
love mustard on toast.
And Gabe will open up with his new hardcore band. I saw you've been jamming with your friends.
Yep. Oh, did you see the thrash metal band that me and my friend are doing? You saw that?
Oh yeah. You guys sound awesome, man.
Thanks. So it turns out there is a band called the Flapjacks with one song and 6 monthly listeners.
Oh wow. It
Props
sounds like
to them.
Yeah, good for them.
Good job,
That's
Flapjacks.
a great start.
If you're watching,
yeah.
Hats off to the Flapjacks.
I guess. I don't know how they sound at all. They could be something completely random.
Doesn't matter. We should do a tour with the Flapjacks.
It could just be farting into a microphone. I don't know. Just listen.
In that case, definitely doing a tour with them.
Yeah. Flapjacks and Stacked Like Pancakes. Now you need like waffle or something.
Wow, can you imagine the tour posters for that? They'd be all sticky with syrup.
Be sticky.
So
digress. I digress.
yeah. So my favorite Stacked Like Pancakes song is SFDD. Do you each have a favorite Stacked Like Pancakes song?
Nick?
My favorite Stacked Like Pancakes song is So Close Yet So Far. And that's because I'm biased because it was the first song that I got to play on the recording of.
Oh, nice. Which album is that on?
It's a standalone. It's a single that we released 2 Januaries a while ago now. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was the first song that Stacked Like Pancakes released since 2018. Think of it that way.
Nice. So
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I don't know. Mine changes all the time, but I think my favorite song. So Dreamcatcher, even though it is just inherently not a ska song, honestly, that whole album that it's on, Strange Creatures, is not really ska at all. But we've already talked about how Dreamcatcher is on that Spotify ska algorithmic playlist, which is huge for kind of like getting new listeners to listen to our music and potentially come out to shows. But that song in particular, and I feel like you can see a lot more of the emotion of it with the music video that we made for it. But I almost every time we play that song live, I feel like I get like almost in this like transformative state of existence. Uh there's something about the lyrical content and context that like puts me on like another plane when I'm performing it. And for that reason, I think Dreamcatcher is one of my favorites to perform. Yeah.
nice. So what was the first punk or ska show you attended, and how old were you?
My first ska punk show, my first live show was Big D and the Kids Table
Nice.
at the Wrecker. What was before known as Record Theater. And that was actually the show that made me really cement my love for ska music and made me really want to start a ska band myself. It was Big D. It was a band from Hawaii called Go Jimmy Go, and a local band called the Ska Kebabs. And then I think there's one other band, Westbound Train, actually, is the name of the other band. Surprised I just pulled that out of my head. But yeah, the lineup was insane. It was like just reggae, ska, and Westbound Train was more like punk, I guess. Ska punk. But yeah, it just like that was a turning point for me. That was my first actual live show, and the show that made me want to be like, yeah, I'm starting a ska band, whatever it takes, I'm doing it. So
That's awesome, man. I didn't even know that whole story. I just knew it was Big D and the Kids Table.
yeah.
Anyway, Gabe, when I was a young lad, not too much older than yourself, my parents were not like your parents.
Oh, I guess I should have said that was in middle school for me, but sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Well, I was in 7th grade at the time. I had just turned 14 years old, and I had been playing upright bass in our school orchestra where I went to school. And there I befriended a couple of 9th grade boys who were a little bit older than me. Well, those 2 9th grade boys had their own punk band called Middle Class Holes. And they used to throw shows in their garage all the time. And they were just kids too. I mean, they're 9th grade, but the other bands that would come play were full grown men, and a lot of like hardcore bands would come through. And I'd be this little kid wearing like this Steelers t-shirt. Meanwhile, everybody else has shaved heads and mohawks, and I was a total poser back then. But I kind of earned my stripes in that scene, in the DIY punk show scene, and I had to sneak my way in too, and I had to kind of lie to my parents about where I was, because if they found out that I was listening to punk music, it was over for me. I wasn't allowed out of the house. My parents were not into me listening to the same kind of music you do. So I'm telling you, man, you're living my dream, being able to having supportive parents taking you to see Bane and Stack Like Pancakes, and listening to songs like SFDD. My parents would never let me do that. But as soon as I got my first taste of it, going to these little DIY basement and garage shows, that's when the fire really started burning for me. And the more and more my parents tried to suppress it, the more and more I wanted to do it. And that's kind of what led me to my lifelong passion of playing music in punk bands and playing ska music and all that. So I want to say I was 7th grade, 14 years old, and my first punk show was Middle Class Holes at a venue called the Doom Bunker, which was my friend's dad's garage, but we called it the Doom Bunker, and we had a bunch of hardcore bands come and play. And yeah, those were the days, man.
I actually really like that band name, Middle Class Holes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they were awesome. I think they saw it in like a movie or like a TV show or something. We're like, yeah, that's our name now, Middle Class Holes.
Nice.
Funny. So, what is your favorite place you've toured in?
What? Sorry, say that again.
What is your favorite place you've toured in?
Ooh.
I have a bunch of places that are not my favorite we've toured in, but we're not going to talk about those.
No, that was not the question, Nick.
My favorite, I'll start. It wasn't really a tour, but it was my favorite Stacked Like Pancake show we've ever played, and that was Warped Tour 2019 on the beach of Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Nice.
Yeah.
With Keep Flying, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I think my favorite show was when we were on tour with Real Big Fish, and we played in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at a venue called the Black Sheep. And that it was like a few, I guess like probably 5 or 6 days into the tour. But Real Big Fish is another band. Actually, before I went to that Big D concert that I mentioned earlier, I was already listening to some bands, and one of the main ones that I was listening to was Real Big Fish. So they're my idols, like from the get-go. It's like somebody showed me Real Big Fish. I'd never heard what ska was before, and I was hooked. So for that to come full circle, to be in a ska band, and I guess the context that I should mention is that it took like 2 years straight of constantly emailing and messaging the agent, the publicist, the manager of Real Big Fish, stalking them basically on Facebook and messaging them directly if I could. And it took like 2 years of that to convince them to let Stacked Like Pancakes be on go on the road with them. So the reason why that show is so important to me is because I can remember just watching Real Big Fish play after our set, and just breaking down in tears with just contentness and joy and happiness and relief. Honestly, I was like, it was just like I had poured so much effort into getting to that point, and that was such a massive milestone for the band at the time to get on that tour with a internationally touring artist. It meant so much to me. Still does to this day. And I think that show at the Black Sheep, Colorado Springs in 2016, was definitely, I'd say, at least top 3 shows for me.
And I believe that moment is actually was captured on film, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It was actually. I think that video is still up on YouTube somewhere.
It's on the Stacked Like Pancakes YouTube. See, Gabe, before I was in the band, I was a major nerd and a fanboy of Kellen's and Stacked Like Pancakes, and I had done many deep dives on the band to consume as much as I could before. And if you go way back in the YouTube archives on the Stacked Like Pancakes YouTube channel, the story that Kellen is telling was actually recorded and documented. And if you want to watch the video of Kellen crying, it's actually very touching. If you want to look at our YouTube channel, and for those of you listening at home,
Yeah, I'll try to look for it, I guess, and I'll see Kellen crying like a baby.
it's a very wholesome moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not crying like like a baby in a bad way, in a good way.
No, it's
Tears of joy.
I was crying like a baby. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but good tears, not wah tears.
very good tears. Yeah,
That's right.
It was.
Yep. So, what was your favorite TV show when you were my age?
Ooh, good one.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes, amazing.
See, I was a deprived child, and my girlfriend makes fun of me all the time that we didn't really get much good like cartoon television growing up. My family did not. We didn't have like cable or anything growing up. We just had like the standard network television shows that were not nearly as good. So I didn't really know. I knew what SpongeBob was, obviously, but hadn't really seen episodes of it unless I went over like friend's house. But
Did you have Looney Tunes, Kellen?
that I feel like that
Saturday morning
me.
on Channel 53. You didn't have to have cable, but I remember every Saturday morning on Channel. I know this because my grandmother didn't have cable and she used to watch me a lot on the weekends. So every Saturday morning I would put Channel 53 on, which was WB Warner Brothers, and Looney Tunes would come on.
Yeah,
the TV.
you know what did come on TV a lot though was Pokemon.
Ooh.
And also Digimon.
Yo, speaking of Pokemon,
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon
yes,
are the champions. Like that is ingrained in my head and will live there forever.
literally just today, my roommate was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, like the TV show Yu-Gi-Oh about the card game.
Yeah.
And it's just so cringy, man. Like,
Yeah.
they'll have their he's watching it over across the room currently, and they'll be like these two people just chilling like in the library or some random place, and they're like, hey, do you want to have a duel? Here, Brad, you come over here and tell this story.
Though it's not even that. The thing about it is it'll be like little like middle school kids on the playground, and like one of them will get upset and they'll be like, you know what, it's time to duel. And then next thing you know, they're in like this stadium surrounded with like people, or it's being like televised to the entire world. And then they're like, if you lose this duel, you're never allowed to duel again. And it's just, dude, it's so cringy. It's just so cringy. Like,
but anyway, I guess like
you don't need to watch
Pokemon-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no thanks.
But Pokemon definitely was one of the shows that I remember watching, probably about your age.
Yeah, I love Pokemon. Just I didn't get too much into the show. I just mainly play the game and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I like my generation's attachment with Pokemon was more of like Gabe, how many Pokemon cards do you own?
The cards. I was about to bring up the
Yeah,
cards.
so I've probably about 4,000.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind. That wasn't what I was expecting. That's incredible.
4,000. This
Maybe.
kid has 4,000 Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon cards, bro.
That's crazy.
My roommate also
is-
has
I was
a
trying-
lot of Pokemon cards, but
I
he
was
does not
trying to
have
make a point,
4,000.
and I just got thrown. It was just thrown back in my face. But where I was going with that was Pokemon, the cards. Before it was like it's really just about the collectibles of it now. But I remember playing the Pokemon card game with my friends on, like, we would have the cards out on the sidewalk in front of our houses playing, actually battling each other with these cards. Like I remember doing that vividly. And then I remember begging my parents to go to Target and get a new pack of Pokemon cards so that I could win against my neighbors on the sidewalk playing cards. So like that developed into like the, you know, a love for an infatuation with the main first, what is it, 100 and how many are in the first like main number of Pokemon? I forget actually at this point.
151.
151. Thank you, Gabe. But yeah, so I fell in love with that. But after the 151, though, it's all kind of fuzzy for me. But like when I was grinding Pokemon, the when it first like became like hugely popular. You better believe it.
I mean, so I do play the card game. I do actually play it. I don't just collect them, but I know a ton of people who just collect.
That's awesome that you play it. I feel like that's not nearly as common a thing. It's definitely more of a collectibles now.
Yeah. I don't know if I have 4,000, but I probably have something similar to that. I know like a few years ago I counted and I had like 2,000. So I'll probably like I'm gonna
awesome.
count and I'm gonna send you the exact number.
Please do. My family used to have a ton, but that now it's in the hands of someone else now because we gave it to like Goodwill before they were like valuable. We probably gave away what would now be like tens of thousands of dollars, to be honest with you. So that's not depressing at all to think about.
You could probably like win like when people like back in the 90s, you could probably get like a first edition Charizard at Goodwill for $1.
That's what, my family is the one that gave those cards to Goodwill.
And now they're worth tens of thousands. I think the highest like first edition Charizard was like $100,000 or something.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
It's 2 sheets of paper, Pokemon card. It's 2 pieces of paper. It's smaller than 2 pieces of paper because it's not even 2 pieces of paper with printing on it. It's like the size,
crazy.
Not the price of a house, like still.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. You can put a down payment on a house, on this house that I just bought.
Yeah.
With that money.
Crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
My dad plays Magic the Gathering, and I'm trying to get into that some.
Nice.
Yeah,
my roommate has over 4,000 Magic cards. My roommate loves Magic the Gathering.
My dad probably has 10,000.
10,000. Wow.
He plays it so much.
That's awesome. That's admirable.
Hey, if you guys are ever in Pittsburgh and your dad is looking for someone to play Magic against, my roommate would love to play. What's a Commander? Commander is the name of the game that he plays.
Pretty sure he plays Commander too.
Yeah, there we go. So if you guys are ever in the Pittsburgh area and he's looking for a formidable Magic opponent, hit me up.
Yep. Back on the topic of Pokemon, so a few years ago I was really obsessed with Pokemon Go, and now I'm back into it. So yes, but sadly, the closest Pokestop in Pokemon Go, that's pretty much how you get like items and stuff. It's like a mile away.
Oh, geez. I feel like Pokemon Go is coming back.
It kind of is.
So for work, I'm a bartender and server, and I very often lately have been seeing, like, I'll ask for people's drink orders or something, and they'll be like in the middle of catching Pokemon. Like, it's like, oh, please stop bothering me. I'm catching Pokemon. It's like, I'm trying to do my job and get you your Diet Coke or your rum and Coke or whatever you want. But
you're in downtown Minneapolis, bro. That's a prime Pokemon Go spot.
Sorry that I disturbed you catching a Charmander. And I know, like anyway, sorry, that was just me venting for a moment. But
hold my beer. I'm catching a Snorlax.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that. It's funny. Yeah, Pokemon Go is fun. Just sometimes addicting.
Yeah, I never really got into Pokemon Go. I feel like Was that a part of like COVID times that really started to blow up, or that was before that?
I think it died in COVID because you can't really go outside.
Yes, that's right.
It's
So it was
Gyarados
like a
and
couple
shiny
years before
Gyarados. Oh
that.
my gosh.
Whoa, nice. That's pretty awesome. Forgot about that.
Is that Kirby on your shelf?
Yes, if I can get my camera to stay put again. But yes, this is Kirby on the shelf. Can't see it, but there's also a little teeny tiny Pikachu here.
I love this new setup that you have, Nick. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much, Kellen. And by the way, everybody tune into our Twitch streams. That's twitch.tv/slpancakes.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't you go tell the crowd a little bit more while I go show Gabe another item that I have.
Yeah. Yeah, so to try and keep in touch with our fan base, what we've been doing with our Twitch channel, and what we've like committed to like a regular schedule of doing is on Tuesdays I do a Tuesdays with Kellen Cake is what we're calling it, where I do a bunch of Stacked Like Pancake songs and cover songs, and eventually I'm going to be getting into requests of people who watch the stream. And what Nick is going to be doing is the same thing on Thursdays, where he's going to be playing bass and singing to Stacked Like Pancake songs and cover songs and whatever people want to hear who are tuning into the stream. It's a good time. It's a great hang just for a couple of hours on Tuesday and Thursday. So so yeah, anybody who wants to hang out with us, look at Gabe's eyes.
Sorry, but Nick,
No.
I saw you have some Funko Pops. Look at this.
Oh, those are awesome, dude.
Nice.
Oh,
Mark
the
Hoppus,
Blink
Travis
182
Barker,
one?
yes.
No way.
This was clearance at Hot Topic for $25, so we had to get it.
Wow,
amazing.
that's a good one. Yeah, I'll show.
Um,
Well, they're my roommate Brad's, but I'll
And
show you them.
also, they're all naked, so you can see their butt cheeks for some reason. I don't know why they included that. But
That's
That is
brilliant.
very
Of
that is
course,
very
that's
on
very
brand for
Blink.
Blink 182.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's Brad's pop collection here.
Oh, great angle of you, Nick. That was fantastic.
nice. Yeah, I have some too. That aren't just this. But yeah, Trev, this is also missing a few things. They all have mic stands. We just didn't put them back in the box yet. We had them out, but we just put them in the box because it's easier to hold. He also has a hi-hat, and there's 2 mic stands. So
Nice. That's awesome.
here
Is
you-
Courtney Kardashian with him?
nope, not yet.
That's a new one they're working on.
Yeah. So what would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse?
Oh, geez, coming out in left field with that one. I would this scale to the size of a horse. It'd probably be bad news for everybody, but can you imagine a bunch of horse-sized praying mantises going
Oh.
around?
That's gonna be chaos, but it'd be cool.
You know, yeah.
I would-
After they mate, they chop off the head of their mate.
They do?
Yeah, it's pretty metal, man.
Imagine like you were just like in, I don't know, New York City. There are 2 praying mantises that just mated, and then they bit off the head of the other one, and it just smashes like cars and stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
that was
What a
not-
great terrible sci-fi action thriller that would be.
Yeah, the
Actually, yeah,
giant
you're right.
praying mantises.
You're absolutely
That sounds
right.
like a franchise, dude. Like Sharknado was a franchise. This is
Yeah.
the next Sharknado.
There's the giant praying mantises. I'm trademarking that.
Let's go. That's $1 million idea. And you know what? We can use the money to pay for our next album.
Yes.
How about a hummingbird?
A giant hummingbird?
Because
Imagine if we just
if it was like a giant hummingbird, I feel like you could fly it on it. You
maybe.
could ride them. Well, like they flap like a ridiculous amount per second. So like if
Might just like kill building. They might just destroy buildings.
yeah, that might be like too fast at that point.
Yeah. You don't want
I don't
birds
know.
flying in. I have birds flying into my window in my house, and that does some serious damage. Can you imagine a horse-sized hummingbird
horse-sized
going through your
hummingbird?
window? Woo! That's
Um,
an expensive insurance claim.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a woodpecker. Imagine if a giant woodpecker like started just
Oh, it's
knocking
over.
down trees.
It's over.
Yeah.
Whole entire forests, man.
They're just gone.
Oh my.
Obliterated.
Yeah. Taking down like a red oak and 3 pecks, like that's crazy.
No, it's not gonna be 3. It's gonna be like 2, 1,
You're right.
dead. Boosh. Like it's crazy. I don't know how woodpeckers can go like they just it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Charles Darwin. He was big into birds and why they are bird
Bored. BORDS. Bored.
is the word.
Bored.
Bird.
Thank
Mhm.
you, Kellen.
So if you could tell your 11-year-old selves anything at all, what would you tell them?
Practice to a metronome.
Ah,
Yep. I try to do that for so you know Rush, right?
Absolutely.
So me and my friend are doing a cover band because we're doing an actual like hardcore band. It's not that thrash metal band, it's a different band. And we're doing a cover band to try to like fund it because there's this like old folks home that we might play at and get paid some.
nice.
So we're gonna be playing like classic rock and stuff. And we
That's
will
awesome.
play YYZ by Rush. But I'm trying to figure out the that part. I
Yeah.
know it. It just so hard. So I'm trying to play it like to a metronome.
Yeah, that's not an easy song.
It's
Yeah, that's
so
a
hard.
challenge.
It is.
That is a challenge. Wait, what was the question? I feel like I had.
The 11-year-old. What would you tell your 11-year-old selves? If,
Oh, uh, yeah, well, the first thing that came to mind, not specifically to a metronome, but keep practicing. Period. I feel like we all go through kind of waves of where we practice and better ourselves and we grind it out and we do it really well, and then we go through waves of kind of letting go of it, and that's perfectly fine, but just keep it on your mind and keep grinding, keep practicing.
yep.
The best way, if you want to play something really, really fast, I found myself the
Half
best way
speed to a click.
play it slow.
Yeah.
Don't speed it up until you can get it absolutely perfect playing it slow because you know where your muscle memory is going to be.
Yeah,
and then
my teachers in college, yeah, I remember like one of them said, if you can't play this solo half speed, then you can't play it full speed. Like you have to play it half speed to a click, before you can, and then just bump that click up a little bit, along
Yep.
exactly what Nick was saying. If you can't play a half speed, you can't play full speed.
And if you can't do it half speed, just do like quarter speed and then half that and then half that and then until
exactly. Take it down to 1 note per minute if you have to.
Yeah, if you really need to. Din.
But you will get it. If you spend enough time and you keep doing that, you will get it. And
it's like
once you do, and I know
20-hour
you will,
song.
Gabe, and I know you will, and once you do get it, I would love to see the video of you guys playing YYZ to a bunch of old folks at a nursing home. I would love to see that.
We'll definitely be taking videos of the
Hell, man.
Really a show. It's more of a
Hell yeah, man. Happy to hear it.
yeah. Well, anything to add before we wrap it up?
I
Kellen?
don't think so. I'm in a writing process right now. So we don't have any like dates set or anything for release. But I'm working on our next EP. It's looking like it's gonna be an EP, not quite a full-length LP, but EP release early next year, where we're having some conversations with Keep Flying and some other bands we want to do some more shows with. So some stuff is in the works, even though we're relatively quiet right now. So just following us on all the socials. We're on the new Threads app that people are either excited or I don't know, maybe not excited about. But yeah, anywhere you have social media, we're there except Twitter, because I think Twitter sucks.
Yep.
The biggest thing I would say is our Tuesday, Thursday night Twitch streams on Twitch TV/SL Pancakes.
Yeah,
Also, if you're not in our Discord, I invite everyone to please join our Discord.
Yeah, our
that's
fan base is the Pancake Nation, and our community is on our Discord server. So hit up our website. You'll find an invite link to join our Discord server and hang out with everybody in the Pancake Nation. It's a good time.
and we
Yeah.
can write a song about chocolatey pancakes with Gabe.
Yep. Remember, you gotta chuck that on the album, and I want 90% of money made for helping write it.
Yeesh. All right, deal.
No.
All right, we'll have our secretary give your secretary a call.
Yeah. Thanks for doing the podcast. So
Thanks so much, Gabe.
Thanks for having us on, Gabe. It's been an absolute pleasure and an
You're
honor.
the best. You're the best.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
So thanks to Kellen and Nick for joining me today, and thanks to all of you for watching or listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye.